Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday. Today, I'm joined by Rebecca Armentrout. She's the founder and executive director of Nebula Early Childhood Collaborative. She's going to be going over all things reflective practices, development opportunities, consultants with caregivers, and all kinds of things, resources for you all. So we're happy to have her here. So hi, Rebecca. Welcome, and thanks so much for joining today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Absolutely. So kick us off today just by kind of briefly explaining your role and what exactly is Nebula Early Childhood Collaborative.
Absolutely. So just to start, the inspiration is such a huge piece of what we do. And as someone who's been in the early childhood field for 18 years in all different areas, from a teacher to director and coach, my heart during COVID just kept seeing our providers have harder and harder time being responsive to the kids in front of them. And so Nebula is a collaborative project that really brings early childhood caregivers, parents, as well as early childhood professionals, family, friends, and network care, child care, in-home providers, all of those things to come around the table and say, what is it that we can do to foster the wellness for early childhood? And we just really know so much about the well-being of a caregiver and how that contributes to the outcome for kids. So my role was just kind of bringing everyone together. And as we circulate together, the stronger and stronger network we're already creating.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a huge overview. I know we all wear several hats in the industry, so we're happy to have you on. And it's, really great overview there. So go ahead and speak on any of those services that you provide to those caregivers and kind of how those are beneficial to the industry.
Do you want to pull up?
Absolutely. Let's go through here. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
Like I mentioned before, we're really centered around resilience. And so just all of our services, from professional development, coaching, and reflective practice, are all rooted in the science that contributes to resilience. So just to share our mission statement, because our wonderful board has really driven so much of this project as we're forming, Nebula is a space for empowering early childhood communities to thrive through reflective practice. Caregivers feel valued and respected through the power of collaboration, bringing a collective voice to inspire change and build a brighter future for children. What is so important to us in this mission statement is the fact that we really want to honor caregivers as the center and focus of our mission and vision with Nebula. If you want to go to the next slide, we can look at some of the most important things that we really focus on when we think about well-being. Throughout all of my career, balance has always been something to strive for. So when I really think about wellness in a caregiver, it's just, how well are we balancing? How are we doing with our care for ourselves, for those we care for our families, our friends, and communities? So really thinking about balance is a lot of our reflective conversations, how we can build that in and how we can work together to encourage each other in holding our own limits to be the best caregiver we can. So as I mentioned, resilience of the caregiver actually is a huge indicator in parenting research that shows positive outcomes for children. The more attuned we are depends on how aware of our own practices we are, as well as how present we can be. So a lot of the mindful practices that are exercised throughout reflection are to bring about that being, that practice, and then it translates into children having attuned caregivers and building secure attachments. And it only takes one of those relationships to really build a brighter future for children.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people have asked me why reflective practice, and thinking, oh, this is just something for coaches or clinicians and things like that. And it's really about that awareness. I know early in my career, I would joke that every day on my drive home, I would really think about what the children were doing in the classroom that day and know that the children the next day will give me an opportunity to try the same thing differently if it didn't go well. And so it's really bringing awareness to how we impact, how we show up to the classroom and our relationships in early childhood. So bringing that awareness to every level of a caregiver. And this service is for everybody who really wants to improve and strengthen that skill. So some people have just really asked, like, what is the nitty-gritty nuts and bolts of what our empowerment groups look like?
Sure.
Note that although they're reflective circles, we really look at it through the empowerment lens. This is not about myself in leadership or any of our coaches. It's about walking alongside each person and setting those goals. So we are in the middle of, we've just enrolled our first cohort, our pilot program, to be meeting together and really exploring these ideas. We meet together for an hour and a half once a month. We then also have coaching one-on-one with either myself or one of the coaches we have to be able to talk about maybe there's something you don't yet feel empowered enough to speak to a larger group that a one-on-one relationship really wants to support you in. We also provide free professional development for those that are involved in this project once a month, 2 hours. What's nice about that is it allows us to talk about topics during reflective practice and keep the expertise out of it and more the reflection. And then we come back and strengthen skills with professional development. Professional development, we prefer that people attend live digitally. All of our services are offered digitally at the current moment through the end of 2022, because we know there are communities that access services differently, as well as childcare might be a challenge. We also know that we all have busy lives. So if you're not able to attend a training or workshop, they're available online to be able to view as well. It's our hope to continue to assemble groups centered around the needs for each community. So keep an eye out for our future cohorts as well.
Perfect.
So really, if you visit our website, we have lots of fun articles and different information about the benefits of reflection. But I have a lot of directors that I've talked to recently that say, geez, I just need to hold on to staff. And how do I do that? And I'll tell you, just even personal experience, good training, good support makes all the difference for me. And it's shown through research of reflective practice that that's really what you're strengthening, is all of those areas. So we also do custom professional development. I have directors sometimes reach out to me and say, my staff is really struggling with communication, or we're struggling looking at developmentally appropriate practices. We really stay focused in provider well-being as well as social emotional practices throughout your program. But we want to engage in communication with our communities, because I do have other community partners that could possibly serve your need as well. So we encourage, reach out and ask if you're needing professional development, because if we can't do it as a collaborative, we can help you find someone who can within your budget.
Awesome.
One of the most exciting workshops that we have right now, that we have some providers participating in this spring, is building resilient teams. What's exciting is working with your staff. We learn a lot about what their hobbies, their interests are, and bring a day of play. So we talk about what resilience is and do some training about that, so they really understand that long-term goal. But this is a day that you can sit together and reconnect. Because as a former director, I know that one of the ways I most successfully retained my team was bringing play all within it. So I wanted to mention that as one of the exciting workshops that we have for different schools, and we'll continue to put out some new opportunities like this as well.
Great. All right.
We also have developed an online early childhood professional development library, and we're working with PDIS to get connected and set up with them as well. It's such a wonderful system to find others. One exciting opportunity I have for coaches and trainers who are out there is we're really looking to build a place that other people in the community, I know I actually work in the classroom right now during the day as well. And there are so many great skills that people have, and they want to be able to put it out there, but maybe not always available to do in person and live training. There is an opportunity to contact us and see about offering your training online virtually through our digital professional development library as well.
Awesome.
So some of the next steps, I just wanted to make sure that we had our website out there. And I know you and I you might have some other questions just to kind of follow up a little bit. But I wanted to put that out there as well. Email is one of the best ways to reach us, but we also have our phone number and other information listed on our website, including a contact form. We are active on other social media platforms, and you can connect to those through our website as well.
Perfect. All right, I will end my screen share here real quick and bring us back larger. Awesome, thank you so much. You're very right. You answered everything that I had asked, so that's perfect. So in case anyone was wondering, is there any cost that you want to address, or can they contact you for that, for those courses, kind of how that works?
So we really want to be sensitive to sliding scale and scholarship. Currently, a lot of our team actually does all of their work volunteer. And we have wonderful donors that have supported our overhead costs as well. Absolutely. So we're continuing to seek for partners, including we've loved working with Early Learning Ventures and learning more about how we can support communities that you guys work with. But there are sliding scale and scholarship available. So if there is any interest at all, I would encourage you to reach out, because we don't want finances to be a barrier to accessing such important work.
Right. Good deal. All right. Well, if anyone is interested in learning more, you added that email and your contact information to those slides. So I'll be sure and link your website and all those resources on whatever platform they're watching us live on. So if there's a preference that you have for people reaching out, feel free to share that. Otherwise, I'll be sure and include that website link for that.
Awesome. Our website just has everything there, and that's what's so wonderful about it. But I am a big believer of picking up the phone and giving you a call. So sometimes it might just start with a simple email. But I love hearing voices and just hearing that passion behind why you guys feel that these services are really needed for you, and what your goals are. Because sometimes we've had people come to the collaborative with a new vision or a new goal that they're wanting to make happen for their community and just haven't had a nonprofit stand behind them yet. So even if you're just curious about who we are, I am happy to talk.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll wrap up there. If there's any other final thoughts, if you want to give a billboard slogan for anything you'd like to share, I'll give you the last couple, however long you want, for any final thoughts or updates regarding Nebula, whoever.
Well, and I guess one thing the last thing I'll want to share, which is just the interesting part, is that Nebula itself is named because of the chaos that we're experiencing right now in our world. It can feel like such chaos. If you're a space geek, I kind of am. That's one of my weird hobbies. But if you're a space geek, really picturing that a supernova of explosion is what begins a new star. It's what builds, and what it takes is gravity coming together. Why we're here is to be able to encourage and model for anyone how we can come together and share resources to benefit our providers, to benefit our families, to benefit our kids. So our slogan really is to build a brighter future. And whether that be a brighter future for the individual caring for children or children themselves, that's really what we hope to offer each and every person engaging with us.
Awesome. I love that. Well, I couldn't have said that better myself. All right. Well, you've been a wealth of knowledge. I appreciate your time so much, and we'll be in touch. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.